Okay, so finally I'm getting around to it to do my video about the handy pump, which is my manual hand pump that I got back in August. uh, this is actually the pump that I got, the well that I got drilled was drilled down to 220 feet. The static water level is actually only 20 feet, and pretty much the internal pumping piece goes down to about 30 feet. It's only supposed to go about 10, 15, maybe 20 feet below the static water level. And pretty much eventually all this snow, which over here is only right here, it's been melting. This section right here comes up to my kneecap right here. All this will eventually become my drinking water at some point once it seeps through the ground, and pretty much will eventually possibly raise my water level. And if I would have known what I've known now when I got the pump done, actually I found out, I got confirmed in the back of the property, we actually do have a natural spring running, which as of right now in February today, it was completely unfrozen still and free flowing all winter long, even though we did have negative 20, 30 degrees in the winter. So that'll be another story in the next year or two when I actually am able to dig it out and we can have fresh spring water. This pump is actually called the handy pump, or my handy pump, and we've had a couple issues with it already. I like the actual pump itself. As you can tell, actually I bumped it, or I bent it right here, about a good 2 inches from it freezing a couple weeks back, trying to get some water out of it. And I've been dealing with the owner. His name is Bruce, and he's not very nice. He helped us with the first issue, which the internal rod somehow got clogged or something, and he sent the replacement pieces and we replaced it, and we had no problems ever since. But now that it's bent, he refuses to actually go on his 5-year warranty that he has with every single piece, which for the price that I paid for this, I'm not very happy with it. But that's a whole nother story. Other than dealing with him personally and him having an attitude, the pump is decent. I definitely would recommend going to a Bison. It's about 3 times the price of this one, but from my neighbor who has one, who were pretty much doing the same thing back and forth. He moved up here around the same time, and he's living off grid. We got the well drilled the same time, and
hashtag the neighbor.
And that's Linda. She said hashtag the neighbor. That's one of our other videos, and he actually got a Bison, which is 10 times better, but it's what it is. So, and with this not freezing, with the water below, I ended up in the piping. I had to drill a weep hole into the actual piping underground, and they usually say below the frost line, which up here is about 4-6 feet. I ended up doing it at about 10 feet just as a precaution, so pretty much just in case, which I can still get water out of it anytime, unless it's super cold, which the next project will actually be a well pump house to actually kind of help keep the temperature a little bit above freezing, and able to actually pump water without it breaking. And with that said, I just came out here to my bucket, but I found out the bottomed out, so I guess from all the ice and whatnot, so I got to get a new bucket, which thankfully I get them for free at work, so it's okay. I don't have to spend that much. But pretty much as of right now, we're not drinking this water yet, just because I got to get it tested still, and from the local well water testing company, they actually said I had to pump out about 1,000 gallons, which I'm about 700 gallons in pumping it, so which I'm pretty ripped now, so with my my biceps are pretty strong right now, just taking turns pumping this water out, but mostly by myself. So I will be a couple more 100 gallons, and I'll be able to test it and see exactly how my water is. But so pretty much with this being, I got to be careful. I just pinched my finger on this right before the video, and which is the same finger I actually bashed about a week ago carrying a 90-pound log for cutting firewood. But with the first few pumps, you actually got to prime it, and it actually helps collect the water, bring the water up to the pump itself. So the first couple strokes are actually going to be empty air as it's pulling up the water. But this actually brings in about 11 ounces per stroke. So with that in mind, I can actually, in about 12 to 13 strokes, I can actually do a gallon. And I've actually timed myself. If I really was full of energy and feeling froggy, I could actually do this whole 5-gallon bucket in about 2 minutes if I really wanted to. But I don't feel like killing myself today. And eventually I'm going to be getting a solar panel kit, and eventually get an electric pump, because pumping water is going to take a long time. And I got 3 dogs and 2 people living in this tiny house, and if that was the case, I'd be out here pumping water all day. But as I said earlier, right now I go into town at a local spring and I collect my water. But this is the video progress, which has been a little busy, and just collecting firewood. And I finally actually got around to doing the video of the pump, which on this unseasonably warm February day, right now it's actually about 45 degrees. And talking with my parents in New Jersey, it's actually about 60 down there today. So, which earlier I was out there in the t-shirt, but I was cutting down trees with the chainsaw today, so I've been all over the place enjoying the weather, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the water does come out relatively clear. It still has some sediments, so it is a little tainted sometimes. But once I get the pump going, the water does clear up. So I'm looking at about a month and a half, 2 months tops, to actually be able to get the water tested, to actually see if I can even drink this without any kind of filters or whatnot. And that is my video. Thank you.